I'm your 4th District State Representative, Matt Shea. Thank you for joining me on this legislative update. Several days ago, I held a telephone town hall meeting. I want to thank those of you who joined me for this very successful event. A telephone town hall is much like a radio call-in talk show. People stay on the telephone and listen, and they can also ask questions. We had more than 4,000 people join us during the event, and more than 400 of you stayed on throughout the entire hour. That's great involvement, and we had a lot of great questions from people throughout the 4th Legislative District. During the teleforum, I asked people to vote in several surveys. In one of those surveys, I asked, do you believe government should force citizens to buy health insurance? 85% said no. My measure, House Bill 1946, would opt Washington State out of nationalized health care. I also asked if people would support a law that would require a 48-hour notice to parents of minor children, age 18 or younger, who are seeking an abortion. 89% of you said they would support a parental notification law. My bill, House Bill 1442, would do just that. However, even with overwhelming support, it was denied a hearing. I also wanted to know people's thoughts on my eminent domain legislation. House Bill 1441 would give people a right of first repurchase to property owners who lost their land to the Department of Transportation through eminent domain, if the DOT then later declared the land surplus and put it up for sale. So I asked the 4th District citizens what should happen if this property is declared surplus. 85% said the original owner should have the first right of repurchase. Not one person chose the option that said government should hold on to the property indefinitely. That tells me that people want fairness, and they're tired of eminent domain abuse. The measure I've sponsored passed out of the House Transportation Committee and is expected to be voted on at any time on the House floor. That's just one of the bills I'm working on to ensure private property rights. Another measure I sponsored that has passed the House addresses adverse possession claims and would strengthen private property rights. Adverse possession is an old law that was enacted when the West was being settled to ensure that land was in productive use. If you weren't using your land for more than 10 years, someone else who was using it could make an adverse possession claim to that property. Today, the West is settled, and the issue of boundaries is much clearer due to the advent of GPS technology. Unfortunately, while technology has improved, we're still working off the same law from the 1800s, and it's resulted in higher numbers of claims in which legal owners could actually lose their lands. Several days ago, I offered an amendment to an adverse possession bill. My amendment, which was accepted by the House, would require those who bring an adverse possession claim, they would have to provide clear and cogent and convincing evidence to prove their claim. This is a higher standard, so the House Bill 1026 will make it harder to bring claims unless there is truly tangible evidence of such an adverse possession claim. It would further help to protect your rights as a landowner. The measure has been sent to the Senate for further consideration. Finally, I'm also awaiting House action on a bill I sponsored to get tougher on out-of-state cattle trucks bypassing our port of entry at the Idaho border on I-90. This is a huge problem for our district. Instead of stopping at that port of entry along the Idaho border, cattle trucks, almost all of them from Canada, are taking a detour on Highway 290 through the Spokane Valley. These heavy trucks are destroying our local highway. Worse, however, is that the cattle is not being inspected. That puts our beef supply in Washington at risk. Several years ago, the first mad cow disease in Washington State was from a cow transported from Canada. So I have sponsored House Bill 1922 to ensure and require commercial vehicles with a gross weight of 40,000 pounds or more and transporting cattle to stop at that port of entry. We should be voting on that bill any day now. For the next several days up to March 7th, we will be working long hours, late nights, and weekends on the House floor to consider bills that were passed by the respective committees. I encourage you to watch the legislative debate on TVW on your local cable channel or online at tvw.org. You'll also find more information on my website. You'll find that address on your screen right now. Thanks again for joining me on this legislative update. I'm your state representative, Matt Shea.